Ooh, needs a tune. Welcome to another video and to another organ. Today I'm at Thirsk Parish Church to look at this lovely 3-manual pipe organ. If you haven't subscribed already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button, leave a comment after you've watched this video, and let's crack on with the organ. So this organ dates right back to 1833, I believe. I'm going to put some details on the screen about now. Essentially, this organ was completely rebuilt and restored by Principal Pipe Organs, which are now York Pipe Organs or York Organ Builders, and has been maintained by them ever since. It's a lovely organ. It is a detached console. It is an Electro Pneumatic Action organ. The console, as you can see, is here facing the pipe work, and there's also some more pipe work, which I've never seen before actually, right down there in the chancel above where the choir stand. I'll show some more images of that as we go on. But as usual, let's have a look at the stops. The first thing I should mention is that it's a Saturday morning, or actually it's a Saturday lunchtime, and at the back of church is an open day where they have a lovely cafe. And there's quite a few people in the church. If you can hear cups rattling and chatter, that's what it is. So yeah, we're going to start on the grate. I'm going to start with the top 2 stops, which are the reeds. We have a 4-foot clarion. Got some power. We have an 8-foot trumpet. And there are the 2 reeds on the grate. We also have 2 mixtures. We have a 2-rank mixture. And we have a 3-rank mixture, which is a sesquialtura. Put those together, we end up with that 5-rank mixture, which is really powerful. Moving further, we have the 2-foot 15th. And a mutation stop, which is a 2 2/3. It is a 12th. With the 15th. So we're quite spoilt for that mixture effect here. A 4-foot principal. A 4-foot flute. It's a Nason flute. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And an 8-foot open diapason. An 8-foot clarabelle flute. a second open diapason, which is an 8 foot. We'll compare that with the other open diapason. I imagine that's a 1 and 2. Yep, so the first open diapason is much softer than the second. It's not labelled as such, but that's obviously an open diapason 1 and 2. And to finish off, we have a 16 foot double open diapason. Which in comparison is surprisingly quiet. At the very bottom here we have 2 couplers. We have the Swell to grate and the Choir to grate. Let's try something on the grate, see what it sounds like. Pretty powerful, a little bit out of tune to be fair, but it's a good powerful grate. Really pleased with that. By the way, that was just with 2 stops on the pedal, no couplers. That was just the 16 and 8 on the pedals, but nice. Let's move on to the next manual. So while we're here on the right hand side, I'd like to have a look at the choir organ, which is the bottom manual. The pipework for the choir organ is, hopefully you can see it right behind me, just there. It's right up in the choir, so quite a long way from the rest of the organ, which is strange. I've never really seen that before, other than in cathedrals and buildings where the organ is spread out all over the place. Just in church, I've never really seen that before, so it's new to me. So the choir organ, again, we'll start at the top. We start with an 8 foot trumpet. So judging by the sound of that, the trumpet is actually coming from this part of the organ, so I think it's probably shared with the grate, but that's okay. 8 foot trumpet on the choir. We have an 8 foot clarinet. Ooh, needs a tune. So as you can hear, the clarinet does need a good tune, but, and just to clarify, the clarinet is coming right from the back here. We have a 2 foot piccolo. It's a lovely, that chuffing sound, it's so nice. Another mutation stop, we have a 2 2/3 Nazard. Let's try that with a 2 foot to create that mixture effect. We have a 4 foot flute. A 4 foot principal. have a stopped diapason. That's a lovely sound. Let's just try that with a piccolo. Nice. And finally on the choir, we have an 8-foot Dulciana. Lovely. So apart from that trumpet, which as I mentioned is probably shared with the grate, everything else is coming from that end, so that delay is a little bit off-putting, but really nice. It spreads the sound out across the church. Let's try something on the choir. Those reeds really need a tune. It's quite off-putting actually to suddenly have the trumpet coming from this part of the organ and the rest of it coming from down there, so it's a bit strange, but a good powerful organ. I like that. Let's move on to the next manual, which is the choir, and it's the top keyboard. The very top stop is a tremulant, which I'll try later on when I have a stop pulled. But the first stop is a 4-foot clarion. It's a reed. An 8-foot oboe. The reeds on this organ are very out of tune, but you get the idea. An 8-foot cornopian. And with the reeds out of the way, a 3-rank mixture. A 2-foot 15th. A walled flute, it's a 4-foot. A 4-foot principal. An 8-foot gedakt. An 8-foot open diapason. 8-foot gamba, which is a string. And another string, an 8-foot celeste. And of course we need to try the celeste with the gamba, which hopefully will give that lovely beat, because as you know they're tuned differently. Pretty nice. We also have three couplers at the bottom. We have an octave, a swell octave, a swell sub-octave, and a unison off. Let's try something on the swell. So finally we're going to move on to the pedal stops. Again, we start with a 4-foot clarion. I'm not sure what's borrowed here and what is just the pedals. I suspect there's quite a lot borrowed actually, but we have an 8-foot trumpet. Which is massively out of tune again. A 16-foot trombone. Disappointing that there's a few notes off. A 4-foot 15th. Notes off again. An 8-foot bass flute. Notes off again. An 8-foot principal. A 16-foot Borden. A 16-foot violin. And that's all we have on the pedals. There's quite a lot of notes off. The reeds again are out of tune, which seems to be the case throughout this organ. I suspect quite a lot of those are borrowed, as I've already mentioned. I'm not sure which. There will of course be a link to the National Pipe Organ Register to this very organ, which you'll be able to look on and get that information if you would like it. There's a few couplers also on the pedal. As you would expect, there's the Swell, Quiet and Great to pedal. Generals on Swell, not sure where that is. And the Great and pedal combinations coupled. So a nice section there. Overall, this is a quite a nice organ. The reeds spoil it because they're out of tune, but they're quite powerful, and they have some welly behind them. Lots of couplers, nice to play because it's Electro Pneumatic Action, so it's light. I like the way the organ's positioned in that the manual is right in front of the pipework, apart from the choir of course, which is down the other end of the church, which we've already mentioned. But overall, pretty nice organ. Let's have a go of something. So thanks as usual for joining me on this visit to Thirsk Parish Church, and thank you to the people here for allowing me access. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit the subscribe button, please leave a comment, and I shall look forward to seeing you on the next organic visitation. And until then, see you later. Bye for now.